Barbershop, Talk of the Town 918. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town 918 edition. It's the season 2, episode 3. We got a special guest with us, a Wagner legend, Oklahoma State legend also. Played in the league for a while, still actually playing too. You see the Arizona Cardinal jersey up front. We got Kevin Peterson. Kevin, appreciate you for stopping by out north, man.
Nah, I appreciate y'all for having me. I feel like I'm in the culture right now. I see the McLean everywhere. I'm like, I don't know if I'm in hostile territory or what.
You're good out here.
I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all having me for sure. Yeah.
So, for the people that don't know you, take us through your journey, like where you grew up from. I know I mentioned Wagner, but where you grew up from and how you kind of got playing football, or you know what I mean? Just take us through your little journey for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm from born in Oklahoma, born and raised in Wagner, really. Went there till I was about in 3rd grade. Then I moved. My dad's from Louisiana, so I moved to Lake Charles, Louisiana when I was in about 3rd grade. And then come 4th grade, that's when I started playing football. That's when I first picked it up. But they don't have Pop Warner rules down there, so little 4th, 5th graders, you could be 300 pounds toting a rock. So I was, that's my first getting introduced to it. I was a DN and tight end, having to tackle some. I'm talking about monsters. So then I came to Oklahoma. Hurricane Rita hit. Hurricane Rita hit right after Hurricane Katrina. So we evacuated back to Oklahoma, and that's where my mom's from. And so ever since then, from 6th grade on, that's where I've been in Oklahoma. But I started playing ball in 7th grade. Started playing school ball with Wagner in 7th grade all the way through high school, and really fell in love with it. I mean, I didn't watch it growing up. Like I said, I started later, I feel like, even though it was 4th grade, the other people, but I really thought I was a hooper.
So you had the basketball in your head
yeah, I don't know nobody that's in the NFL now, anybody that came before me for real. Everybody's like, who's your favorite team? Who your favorite player? I'm like, I was watching AI. I've been watching KD. I was like, I love Steph. You know what I mean? I've been watching basketball my whole life, so that's really that's really the people I really looked up to and really known for anything when it comes to sports.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so take us to your high school career at Wagner, your freshman year. Did you play varsity or was you just on a freshman team? Like, how did the process go for you to become? You already Kevin Peterson, become Kevin Peterson, the legend at Wagner.
Yeah, for sure. My bad. Yeah, so it started out my freshman year. They had my brother was actually a senior. And when I was a freshman, he played corner too. Okay. But they was having some struggles, and so they moved me up from my freshman squad to the varsity my freshman year.
So you skipped JV?
Yes, I never played a game of JV. I feel kind of proud to say that. But yeah, I started playing. I started my first game. I want to say it was like week 3. We was playing Fort Gibson. They had a kid named Courtney Gaston, a tight end from Fort Gibson. He was committed to Arkansas. He was committed to Arkansas at the time. Committed to Arkansas. Had a good game during that game. I know I had like a few tackles, a couple PBUs or something like that, But then to come the next week, our coach was like, because had another cat named Jimmy Carter who was also a freshman with me. He started at the other corner. Okay. And so our high school coach was like, we ain't going to have 2 freshmen starting that corner for us. I don't care what's going on.
And what position was your brother playing?
Corner too, because he was one of the ones that was struggling. I'm sorry, I'm kind of ratting you out right now. Okay. And so they was like, you know what, we're going to have you for reserves. If things get ugly, you know what I'm saying, we're going to put you in. So I was on the varsity team. I was playing sparingly, but I got my first start like that week 3. And played the whole game, started the whole game, but then they was like, you know, we won the game too, so I'm sitting here like, why y'all switching stuff up all day? Let me get my shine. But I ended up playing sparingly throughout the rest of that year, but then I took over the reins my sophomore year. And really started, and that's where I feel like my recruitment came, because we played against East Central. That was the first. Yeah, that was the first. You said who?
Stephon Taylor, was that?
No, he wasn't there. He was younger than me too, so it was my sophomore, so he might have been a freshman, so he wasn't even playing yet.
Okay.
And so that's my first game, really. That was like the biggest team we had played at that time. And I ended up having, I want to say, like a pick, like 8 tackles, like 100-something receiving yards or something like that. And that's when I got on Rivals, the recruiting website. I got on Rivals for the first time. And we lost the game. I mean, they beat our ass. It was like, I can't remember the score, but that was our first time getting beat, because we didn't lose 8th grade, 9th grade. We didn't lose none of them games.
Okay.
And so I was like, man, I was over there hurt. I was over there like kind of away from the team, like, dang, what we about to do? But my coaches was coming to me like, hey, you keep playing like that, you're going to play this game for a long time. And I was like, man,
And this was your sophomore year.
Sophomore year. And so I was like, y'all talking to me like this? I'm about to invest in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
forget basketball.
Yeah,
now.
forget basketball. It's over. And I had stopped growing by that point. Like my brother's 6'2", my other brother's 6'1". All my first cousins, they like 6'7", 6'5" now. I'm 5'11", so I kind of knew earlier like, oh, it's over with. I ain't got the bounce like that. I ain't got nothing with it. Take a bit. Like it's over with. Might as well invest to this football stuff. So. Yeah, so my sophomore year, that's really when I still got invested in football. I was like, I'm about to try to go for it.
So your sophomore year, did you know then, like, okay, I got a chance? After the coaches say that to you, you knew you had a chance to be special?
For sure, because it was the first time that I had really felt like they was like they just kept reiterating to me like, all right, you could do something with this. Like you gonna we got like I said, you had rivals coming in. That's when I started getting my first college letters and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they was really just telling me, like my head coach just telling me, like, yeah, you're gonna be able to do this if you really put your mind to it. And but yeah, we had like going through that season. It was my first year. I was a sophomore playing on varsity, so they was trying me to hold. That's my best season I ever had because that's when they was really coming at me. I think I came out with like 7 picks, like 80, 90 something tackles. You know what I mean? I played on offense too, but it was really like my first time. It was really like, okay, you could do this. You know what I mean? Everybody really older than you, but you out there with everybody. So.
Do you remember the first time you did get a scholarship offer and what team it was from?
Yeah, it was my junior year. It was right after the season. It was from Arizona. Okay. It was from Arizona. They every team I don't know.
Was it Mike Stoops?
Yeah, Mike Stoops was there. Mike Stoops, he was the one that recruited me. They all sent the handwritten letter saying, you know what I'm saying, we like you a lot. We hope you can be able to take a visit, but we want to extend the offer, a scholarship offer to you. And I had just got done taking the ACT, like I want to say the second round. You can take it during the fall. I don't know exactly what the date was, and I made a 21 on it, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I can start getting I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I didn't take an ACT after that again. I wouldn't recommend that for sure.
But now I don't even think you gotta do nothing like that no more.
I think it goes off of your GPA.
Oh, okay.
So if you got like a 3.0, you'd be good with an 18 or something.
Oh, okay,
like that.
yeah. See, I want to say I graduated like a 3.1 or something like that. So I got that 21 too. So I was like, I mean, ain't no question I'll be able to. If somebody want me, they can actually come get me now. But I remember it was during the basketball. I didn't play basketball that year either because I was really trying to focus on football. And so I got my first offer from Arizona from Mike Stoops, and it was I just remember this like, all right, I can go do this now. You know what I mean? Like it's not a satisfaction, but I felt like if I want to further my football career, I got at least somebody that can go. It wasn't a peak. It wasn't what I wanted. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was like, well, you could do it if you want to. You can go do that.
So how many state championships? Because I remember Wagner had like a long winning streak. Was you a part of that?
I was a part of the first one. So we, my junior year, we went undefeated. We was tearing everybody up. We played Douglas in the state championship. Beat us in double overtime. Sick. Hurt.
Who did they have?
They had
Stevie Clark's brother.
The
DN with LSU.
Oh yeah. I want to say he was there. And then they had guy named like Marcus Cardell or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I don't know exactly where he went. But that was the first receiver that he had a touchdown number. He was
he was cooking you.
I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
I gotta get my shit.
I was like, okay, yeah. Shout out to him because he's one of them ones. I was like, okay. I thought I was where I needed to be, but all right, he got me in the sate championship game, so I got to get back right where I need to be.
And that was your junior year.
Junior year. I remember telling my coaches, I was like, it ain't never happening again. Because that was the first touchdown that had got scored on me. That was he had almost, I don't know how many yards he had, but I was following him the whole game. He had like 80-something yards, and 5 yards was too much for me. So I was like, oh no, okay, I got some stuff to work on. So, but yeah, after that game, we ended up losing. We ended up losing in double overtime. Okay. And at state, we played Oklahoma State too. But my senior year, we came back and we ended up winning state. That was the first state championship.
Who'd y'all beat?
We beat Clinton. Clinton High School. Yeah,
that was tight. Running down my throat.
Oh yeah, no, that's all we was doing. We was that's all they was doing was running, and we was trying to air it out a little bit. But we ended up running. That's the most touches I ever had in the game. I think I had like 23 rushing yards, 23 attempts. Okay. I want to say I had like 200 and something rushing yards too, something like that. But
so we go to your senior year a little bit. What was your top 5 schools? So
coming in, I wanted to stay close to home. Mm-hmm. I loved Oklahoma State. OU, of course, was a powerhouse. So I was like, offer from them would just mean, I wouldn't have to go nowhere if I didn't.
Did they offer you?
Yeah, they did. They did. Tulsa was there. I mean, Iowa State. I was really wanting to stay in the Big 12, I feel like, because it was more, I was about to say Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. But I was about to say if Alabama would have came knocking, if any of them would have came knocking, I sure would have thought about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't end up getting those offers. But I actually was committed to OU for the longest.
Was you?
Yeah. OU was the first big school to offer me. Like,
Who was the DB coach at the time that was recruiting you?
it's crazy. Brent Venables had just left to go to Clemson, and Mike Stoops came in. So Mike Stoops was recruiting me from Arizona and then came to OU. So it was like once he got there, I took an official visit. I fell in love with it really, and I committed, I committed to OU. But I always kind of wanted to go to Oklahoma State in the back of my head. Like I know my older brother, a bunch of his friends had went there, and I had been there just to see some games and stuff. And that's really where I wanted to go, but they wasn't recruiting me like that. I mean, I got my offer from OU, and then everybody else kind of started flooding in. Like, okay, Oklahoma State sent me with the offer, and like a bunch of other schools that wasn't really talking to me at first started sending offers. But I was like, I've been good enough. Y'all need an OU to offer me for that to happen.
Man,
so,
exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I ain't even mess with any of the other schools. Like Arkansas came, TCU, a bunch of other schools. I was like, I'm off of y'all. Y'all just want me because y'all, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else pulled the gun. Somebody else pulled the gun.
So OSU, what made you decommit though? Like it was just because of your brother and your brother's friends?
And so I really I took my visit to OU, but then I took my visit to Oklahoma State, and it just felt more like family at the time. I had been talking to some players at OU when I was there, and they was like, yeah, I mean, it's a great place to be. You really gonna get your shot and everything, but they was like, at the end of the day, they don't know how much they like it. And so I was listening to it, but I was like, man, they kind of sound like some haters at the same time. Like they acting like, I don't know, if I wouldn't even mess with them if I got to that mug. And so, but then I went to Oklahoma State. It just felt like family, like from the environment that I was there, from like being on campus, the coaches, the players, everybody. I mean, it just felt like somewhere I needed to be. You know what I mean? And I was talking to my parents too, and they was like, I asked them how they felt, like which one they like, what they like better, just asking them without them even knowing what I was thinking. And they was like, we like Oklahoma State a lot better. It just seemed kind of, I don't know, it seemed kind of different over your OU. Yeah. And I was
how
like,
was that phone call when you had to call Mike Stoops? Like
crazy.
Mike
it was,
crazy, so I know he probably went
Oh,
off
it was
on
Bob. We talked to Bob.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Bob. I was like, I'm going to go right to the source. And it was tough. I mean, I'm, 17 at the time. My heart pounded. I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to say to him. I remember studying. I was just like, because they didn't want me to take my Oklahoma State visit. I told them before I was going, and they was like, all right, I mean, we can't tell you no, but you know what I'm saying? Just let us know if you whatever your mind, if you have mind change, anything like that. But yeah, I remember calling. I was like, shit, I don't know if I got on the phone. I was like, damn, am I really about to do this? In my head, I'm like, can I even get the words out? But yeah, I just told them, like, I just told them I want to decommit. I was like, I feel like it isn't where I want to be. I feel like it's my best interest to go somewhere else to kind of open up my recruitment back. I didn't even tell them it was OSU at the time. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just decommitting. We was real respectful, real cool about it, you know what I mean? Real was like, okay, yeah, we hope the best for you and everything like that. So yeah, no, it was I was nervous at first, but I mean, he was
handled it.
Yeah, for sure. He's a grown man at the time. I'm a little kid, so I'm thinking, man, I don't know how this is about to go. So
So you get on campus at OSU, you choose OSU. What was your biggest adjustment from high school to college, your freshman year?
I would say just everybody around you is just like you. You know what I mean? You go from being everybody fast, everybody strong, and then everybody sophomore, junior, senior had been in that program for years before you, so their body looked completely different from yours. How do so? And on top of that, we didn't have film in our practices. Like the only time in Wagner we would watch film was after a game. So that's my first time getting to see myself practice. That's my first time really getting to go back and look and see. So I was like, man, I get to really invest. I really could really. I used to sleep up there in the between. I had we had practice at 1. I had class at like 10. I would go to the film room and just watch practice, just watch myself do one-on-ones, watch myself do everything. Because this is my first time really getting to see myself. And so I feel like the biggest thing was being able to, like the video from to be able to actually see what you putting on tape and just like seeing, damn, they big out here, like they fast out here, like everybody just like you. So it's really like what you gonna do to set yourself apart.
Did you have that mindset like your freshman year, like I got to get paid doing this, I'm gonna make it to the league? Is that why you kind of I need to watch practice, perfect my game?
I really never, the league was never really something that I wasn't even really focused on the league. I feel like every year that I was ever doing anything, I was just trying to prove myself in that moment. I was really trying to say, like, yeah, I deserve to be here. You know what I mean? Like, even from my freshman year of high school, sophomore, junior, senior, I just really wanted to prove, like, I'm better than everybody that's around me. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much, I wasn't even thinking of the next level because I guess the next level, nobody from Wagner had done it, and I really wasn't invested in watching NFL and stuff like that. So the next level wasn't even something that I just idolized or anything like that. So I really just remember I'm just trying to beat the dude next to me. I'm trying to be the best where I'm at right now. And I think that carried over into Oklahoma State too because I didn't redshirt. And I was
you played your freshman year.
Yeah. So they had Justin Gilbert, and they had another guy named Broderick Brown. That was the two starters. But then I was the next guy in, so I played nickel, and then I was like the kind of the relief guy. So I played anywhere from like 30 to 40 snaps every game my freshman year. I even started my last game against Baylor. So I really played like all my freshman year.
And Justin Gilbert was top 10 pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, I want to say he was
4 or 5 to Cleveland.
I want to say it was like 8. I want to say it was like 8. Yeah, he was. I want to say first corner taken off the board maybe, but yeah, no, he was. Yeah, he was up there top 10.
Did he take you under his wing and like teach you the ropes?
He did, but I would say no. I would say he was kind of, because my year that he came, that wasn't, because the year before when I came, when they won the Big 12 championship, he had a lot of hype going around, like he was going to be the next guy. And then I think he might have had plans on trying, if he'd had that same year coming out early his junior year. But he didn't have the year that he wanted my freshman year, his junior year. And so I think that he was kind of more focused on trying to, get to the next level from his own perspective. So it wasn't nothing, I wouldn't say he didn't take me under his wing, but he was definitely, I could say that he was focused on, like, I got to get to that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm locked in. So his next year, he came out bald, doing everything he did. So I would say Broderick Brown, well, I would say they kind of did, but at the same time, I feel like they was focused on trying to get to that next level. So it didn't feel like, I never felt like no shade or no knock or anything like that. But I could definitely feel like it was so like,
you really just
we're trying to get anything. Yeah, for sure. Because we had another guy named Ashton Lampkin. We were the only two corners that got recruited that came in the whole secondary. Like, there were no safeties, no nothing. So our freshman year, we was the two young bucks the whole time. So he didn't redshirt either. We was both in there playing. So we really, like I said, watching film, seeing what the mistakes other guys making, like knowing that guys been in this program for 2-3 years more than you, really just like, all right, we got to prove that we need to be here, you know what I'm saying? So we got to put the extra time in. We got to close that gap that we had in our mind, being able to get on the field as early as we could. And I feel like that's the best thing.
So in 2015, was you a junior or senior?
2015 was my senior year. So 12, 13, 14, 15 was my senior year. Yep.
Would you say that was your best year? And you was a Jim Thorpe finalist, right?
Yep. Well, semifinalist.
Okay.
Yep, semifinalist.
Like, was that your best year? Like, you knew, like, okay, this is my best year?
I would say no. I think my junior year was my best year by far. I was talking to my family about I was going to come out early. But we would just sat down and talked, and we really had the chance to really go for the national championship my senior year at Oklahoma State too. And so going into it, I was like, is it like more of a personal thing? Do I go and try and chase this NFL dream now because it's kind of coming alive, or do I go to get this national championship with my guys? And so I really just sat there and thought about it, talked to my family about it, and I ended up wanting to come back. But I think my junior year was by far my best year. I feel like that was the year that I was like, all right, I'm a junior. Ain't nobody messing with me, you know what I mean? Like, it don't matter what's going on. Like, I felt like I was that dude. Like, no matter who, I didn't even look at the guys who was competing, doing things, you know what I mean, across the country. Because I was like, ain't nobody coming in here and doing that. So I feel like my junior year was my best year for sure.
So right now, if you can go back, would you have came out your junior year?
Definitely. I would have came out my junior just because when I came back, I tore my meniscus. I mean, that's not a big injury or anything like that. And then I ended up having a high ankle sprain during the middle of the season, Oklahoma State. So I'm thinking, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, I got these like little, I didn't have no injuries coming in like for my freshman, sophomore, junior year.
Your money year,
and then it's like I'm having these injuries. That's like not big injuries. That's like you can't play, but it's like nagging injuries to where it's like, okay, you might see this stuff on film.
Yeah.
But no. I say that, but we ended up we was undefeated that whole year coming in, and then I remember we needed to win one of the last 2 games to win Big 12 championship, and we win both of those last 2 games. We in the playoffs to like national championship playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Take 2 L's back to back. Sick. But then we up going to the Sugar Bowl. You know what I mean?
Who'd y'all play?
We play Ole Miss.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got
Took an L there too. So I'm like, oh man, we didn't did all this work. We had all this in front of us, and we come up short those last 3 games. We had everything. Like we lost the Big 12 championship, chance to go to the Natty, and now we done lost the bowl game at the Sugar Bowl. So I'm like, oh man, and I had re-aggravated my high ankle, in the Sugar Bowl game. So I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, maybe I should have, but
fact,
you know what I'm saying, going through that with my guys or something, you can't. I didn't never take that back.
Okay. So you named the guy from Douglas that gave you problems in high school.
Yeah.
Give us a couple of guys in college that gave you that to make you say shit.
Yeah, my sophomore year, my first year starting. We going against West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
They had Geno Smith at quarterback. And I wasn't watching dudes at first before that time, so I was like, I really didn't know who he was. But we had Geno Smith at quarterback, Tavon Austin at receiver, and Stedman Bailey at receiver. And they was on both sides, so I was like, all right. We about to see where you at, KP. Really about to see where you at.
Yeah.
But I think one of the other receivers, the running back had got hurt at the time. And so Tavon was kind of playing running back and slot hybrid. And Justin Gilbert was following Stedman around. But I would just remember I was like, oh, man, these cats is – I'm over here trying to – I'm sticking. I'm like – they ended up – I think Tavon had like – I don't remember how many yards he had, but Stedman went for like 200. For like 200. I know. I only guarded him like 4 times, but I think he got like 40 or 50 of them on me. But, yeah, I was like, okay, dude out here for real. So that was really my first wake-up call. Like, all right, dude's really out here. And then I always say Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard always been solid. Yeah, because we came in 2012 the same time, so we was always playing together. And I say he's one of the most solid receivers. Even in the league, too, he's one of the most solid receivers. Like that dog in him, you know what I mean? Like he got that heart. He want to play. He ain't the fastest, ain't the strongest, you know what I mean? But I definitely say he's like the best, like one of the best. Like he know what to do with that rock.
You got a couple more names while you was in college?
I really can't name a whole lot of people that was just like that. Okay. That was just like that. So I know those guys are always the ones that stick out. For
So
sure.
it sound like them little short receivers, little quick.
Oh yeah,
the
ones that give you problems for sure. Because I went against like Kevin White when he had like a hype year coming in his senior year, my junior year, but he had like I want to say like 2 catches for 10 yards or something like that. So it wasn't too much. I feel like the guys who were like more my size, those are the ones who give you more problems. I feel like that's more of a challenge.
Gotcha.
Oh, my bad. Dang. Hang on. I'm about to say, let me backtrack. I forget where we at. Tyler Lockett.
Okay,
man. I'm about to say, I'm over here forgetting Tyler because he was hurt his senior, the 2 times, my sophomore and my junior year, the times that I was going to actually stick him, he ended up getting hurt like either early in the game or something had happened. But then my senior year, his senior year, my freshman and my sophomore year, he had something that happened and he wasn't playing as much receiver. But my junior year, his senior year, I stuck him. It was me, like it was like the matchup of the day, like what's going on. Like it was me versus him. He hit me for like he had 100 or something at the end of the game, but he had like I want to say like close to that 100 on me. the double moves, it was really he had the time to do whatever he wanted. So and especially with a guy like that, it's a long day no matter what you're doing. So Tyler put it on me too. I ain't gonna lie. T-Lock put it on me too. Yeah, I'm about to say let me go back up. Yeah, I'm about to say I forgot where I'm at. Yeah, T-Lock, he like that too. That's why I say I knew he was gonna be doing cats like that throughout Seahawks when I played them.
So what you see now, you was like.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing. Like I said, when I was with the Cardinals the past 3 years, he's been with the Seahawks. So I'm playing them 2 times a year again. I'm like, that's what he gonna do. That's what he gonna do. It's like you better try and stick on him. Like, and you better not think that the quarterback back there getting sacked because he's looking for him. Tyler he's looking for T-Lock and he gonna go up there and get that thing. He's not the biggest dude, but I'm telling you, he gonna go get it. For sure.
Well, we at the McLean Barbershop, talking to town 918. We got my guy Kevin Peterson. We're gonna take a quick little break and we back in just a second.
There is truly no place like home. Right here in Eastern Oklahoma, Bravado Wireless provides the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month. We believe in strong, connected communities. That's why we live stream community events like local football games. You may not know us by name, but we'll be at the same festivals and cheering for our kids on the same sidelines. Because we live where you live. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
This episode is brought to you by the Smith Family Agency. It's simple. They make sure you have the right insurance coverage on your home, auto, or business. They also have the best prices for insurance in Oklahoma. Call my guy Brian Smith with questions, and he will give you a quick quote. We trust him to always do the right thing for you and your family. Call Smith Family Agency at 918-417-7400 and tell them the Bubby sent you.
All right, back. But make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, the 918 edition. All right, now we back, Kev. After your career at Oklahoma State, take us through the draft process. Did you go to like the Senior Bowl, the Combine? Like what happened with that situation?
Yeah, so I ended up I got invited to the Senior Bowl, the Combine, all that. I ended up having that. Like I said, I had that high ankle sprain during the middle of the season, and then I re-aggravated it during the Sugar Bowl that we had. And so I'm training for the Combine. No, I'm training for the Senior Bowl coming up. I ended up going to that. I ended up re-aggravating the high ankle sprain there too. I had having to leave it early the second day. Wow. I had went to the. I was trying to push through it, but they send you to the doctor anytime you have something,
and they
have something like that.
Right home.
Yeah, and they told you, and that's the first thing the doctor said. They was like, you got all this stuff coming up. Ain't no point in pushing it to go try to prove that right now. So I'm thinking, man, I should have left my junior year again. I'm thinking like, man, I really should have left earlier. You never know what happens, you know what I mean? God got the plan for everything. But I'm thinking, man, what is going on right now? And so I had that, but then, I trained for the combine, went through the combine. That whole process is crazy. It's fun. I tell people the combine is a lot different than what you think because I didn't do any running, any breaking until the actual day of the combine, like the actual day, but the medical side of it, you got to be up at 6 in the morning. You up talking to teams till probably 11 at night. Like for them, it's like 3-4 days straight. You was really in there. They putting you through it. Like I felt like I went through a workout, like a full body workout by the time I got to the field on everything.
Wow.
Like they really testing you to be like, we gonna invest money in you right now. You know what I mean? Sure. So that whole process, it was fun, but it was way different than I was expected to be. And so, I went to the combine and went to the Senior Bowl.
So did you think you was going to get drafted? Like, what was you hearing? Like, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th? Or you kind of knew, like, your chances of getting drafted wasn't going to happen?
So, talking to my agent, and, I don't even know if he was boosting me up or what was going on. Coming in before that year, I was want to say, like, the top 5 corners coming in.
Damn.
And so, coming into the combine, I ended up saying, forget it, I'm going to run. I ran like a 4.58 with the high ankle sprain, but I'm thinking, all right, they're going to know. You know what I mean? The injury is on there. Draft stock felt like crazy. And so after everything, he was telling me, they're giving you a 4.5 grade right now. And so I'm thinking, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like all these things, I'm thinking, I'm the best dude out there regardless. You know what I mean? Just how to take things to the table. But I got that 4.5 grade. And then guys telling me before they had got, like Justin and them telling me, like whatever grade they give you, it might be way less than that when they actually come into it. Like it might used to give you that 4 or 5 grade. Like you might be think about 6, 7, or maybe going undrafted. So I'm just thinking, man, what's going on right now? But at the end of the day, I was like, we're gonna see. You know what I mean? My tape should speak for itself. But I ended up going undrafted to Chicago. Hurt. Crazy, because I'm sitting here looking at names that was getting called, and everybody I'm like, I don't even know this cat. Like, who is this dude? Like, this dude ain't played nobody. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is going on right now? Like, I can't believe it right now. So I'm just sitting, all these thoughts going through my head. I'm like, all right, prove myself again. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing big, but yeah, that was crazy. Going drafted, that was unexpected.
So you go through training camp. Did you have a good training camp?
I did. I felt like I did what I could, but coming into training camp, they kind of I felt like guys pegged where they wanted to be, and so they had. I was one of the first cuts.
Who picked you up?
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears.
They was the ones coming at me the hardest, offering me the most money. Like it was like we need don't go whatever somebody else we gonna match it. We gonna, you know what I mean. We gonna try to. We want you. Like we want you. We know you went undrafted, but we want you.
I got you.
And so I was just going off. All right, they want me the worst. You know what I mean. It seems like I'm gonna have the best shot when I get there.
Right.
End up getting there. I would say probably through training camp, preseason games. I'm talking about practice too. We had so you're there for like a month and a half and games. I probably got 70 reps altogether.
Damn.
All together. Practice come, I'm probably getting 3 reps during practice. Games coming, I'm only getting the fourth quarter. It's like, and they had guys that were undrafted last year, the year before me, that they was giving, seemed like they was giving all the flowers to. So I'm like, why y'all bring me here? What? So on film, I ain't got no film, and it's like, oh dang. To other teams, it's like, well, he wasn't making it with y'all. Why would we even give him a shot now? And so I ended up getting, like I said, first cuts. I had a real job. I lived in Tulsa. I was working at Planet Fitness. I was working at Planet Fitness around the corner from my house until the Rams picked me up in December. That December.
Oh, so you didn't? Oh,
from the first cuts in September, whenever it was, to December, I was working at Planet Fitness.
You sick?
Couldn't watch ESPN. I'm over here looking at dudes not playing, dudes getting toasted. I'm like, here to go that me thinking I should have left my junior year again. I'm like, oh man, what is going on? So. Yeah,
so you get that call from the Rams in your December, and how's that phone call?
It was great. I mean, it was like, because I had like 6 workouts at the time, and I'm going up there killing the workouts. It was like I had one with Green Bay, Denver, had one with the Cowboys, the Browns, and it was 2 other teams. But I was going through them workouts, and I'm killing the workouts too. I'm like, dudes, we coming out because older cats be at the workouts too. We coming in, they was like, hey man, you did your thing. Like you definitely gonna make it. They taking somebody else, so they ain't taking nobody. So I'm sitting here thinking, what is going on right now? Like, is it me? You know what I mean? Because I'm still training, doing everything during that time. But when that call came, it was the day before Christmas, and they was like, we're gonna bring you out after Christmas. You know what I mean? My parents had just came down in town too, And I was thinking they was in St. Louis. Cause I told you I ain't been watching nothing. I'm like, I ain't watching no football. I ain't watching nothing. I'm still thinking they in St. Louis. Wow. My mom like, boy, they in L.A. like, you about to be in L.A. for New Year's. You know what I mean? About to be doing what you do. So they put me on practice squad, and then they ended up. So I was on there for a week just on practice squad, and then they give me they offered me a futures contract to sign to like lock me in to be with them, and then but they did, the Broncos did, and the Jaguars did, because the Jaguars were one of the other teams I had went on a workout for them. So those three teams they said we're gonna bring you in for a few, like whichever one you wanted. My agent was like whichever one you want to sign with, and my agent's from Denver, and he was kind of pushing me like, hey, Denver kind of always wanted you, you know what I mean? They always been in the talks, but all their coaches had just got fired in L.A. And they was about to be, that was before they brought in Coach McVay. And so I was like, well, everybody, and it just in my head, like I'm just thinking, I don't want to be nowhere where they already got dudes pegged in the spot. So I'm about to say they cutting all their coaches. It's about to be a clean slate for everybody. Everybody gonna be on the same level. You know what I mean? I want to come back to LA, and so I ended up signing back with LA and then coming to camp with them and everything.
And you was killing in camp.
Yeah. I ended up making a 53. I ended up making a 53 right after that. So it was, it felt like I felt like everything was kind of happening like I wanted it to.
Let me ask you this then. So you got cut before. On the final cut day, did you know you was going to make the 53, or was you still kind of looking at your phone like, man, they might call me?
During it, I had a great camp. I had a great camp, had a great preseason. But in my head, I'm thinking, don't none of this matter. They still got, I feel like they still working behind, they still talking about me behind my back.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's
I'm like,
nice.
I don't know what's happening over there. And so I'm going hard at practice. Balls to the wall every single play. And then my safety coach came to me. It was like 2 weeks before cut day. It was like way early. He came to me. He's like, you can slow down. He's like, we gonna find a way to keep you. Don't worry. And I remember telling him, I was like, Coach, I appreciate that, but I still don't know. I'm like, I was working at Planet Fitness last year when all these cats over here was still playing. You know what I mean? Dudes who was you know what I mean. There was a guy last year who was my same class that got drafted. That got kept. Not that drafted. He was undrafted and was there. And I was kind of competing against him. And so I was like, this dude over here was playing last year while I was working at Planet Fitness. So
yeah, for sure.
Like I understand, I appreciate it, but I'm still do what I got to do until that time come. But yeah, no, I ended up making the 53. Yeah, they kept telling me early, like they told me way early, like you good, like you good. even after I made the 53, I was like because they don't even tell you really. Everybody just kind of get cut and they be like, all right, practice is at so and so time.
Team meeting.
Yeah. And so Aubrey Pleasant was my corner coach at the time. I think his dad is from somewhere. His dad went to Booker T somewhere. His name Aubrey Pleasant is my corners coach, but his dad went to Booker T somewhere. I don't know. Because I seen when I went in to talk to him, I had to ask him. I was like, ain't nobody said nothing yet, Coach. What's up? Am I on the team or what? 'Cause I'm still in my head thinking what's going on. He's like, hey, you good, boy? He's like, hey, call your moms. You made it. I'm over here. I'm like, what? I started water. I'm like, man, I've been going through all this stuff these past 2 years. Like, man, we trying to make it for sure. But yeah, no, it was a process for sure. What
was the biggest adjustment from college to the NFL? Like, just take us through a day in the life of an NFL player.
Yeah, for sure. So I can barely take it through it from my past years with Arizona. Just so we get up in the morning, practice start at 8 o'clock, go to practice probably about 2 hours. You get probably about like a little I said like an hour and 45-minute downtime, and then you right in the meetings. Meetings your longest day. If you there from 8 to 4, you gonna have meetings is like 6 hours of that, and so you have meetings from you go watch practice. And then practice is over with. They fly through practice 45 minutes, cleaning stuff up. You know what I mean? Because you're really there. They're just trying to know your technique was this, your technique was that.
It's not very physical during the season.
Oh yeah, not at all. When I was at Arizona, I could go through a practice without my helmet, without shoulder pads if I wanted to. Like it's like they really trying to get people to. In them trenches you gotta have trenches. They ain't there clapping, but from like a safety standpoint, corner standpoint, they trying to get you to game day. You know what I mean? They got people, they got money invested in you, so they want to see what you about to do when the lights come on. So. And then you got practice, I would say. You got meetings throughout the day, workouts and stuff like that. And then you done, I would say, like 5 o'clock. And then, you watch film. You really try to get ahead. You're really trying to do everything you can to really take it to that next level. Because that's what I would say the biggest difference is from college to NFL is how much you got to know. Because I thought that everybody on the same level in college. When you get to the NFL, it's everybody on the same level. You know what I mean? Everybody fast. Everybody strong. For sure. But at the same time, they trying to dog you because – they feed their family with depending on how this game goes. Yeah, so it's grown men out there, you know what I'm saying? So it's guys who have been the top of their league, they've been the number one pick coming out. The best high school player coming out, the best college player coming out. Like everybody, but when you get on that field on Sundays, everybody playing for the same thing. You know what I mean? Everybody trying to get that next check. So I would say really trying to get ahead mentally because at that point in college, if you do bad, all right. You got next week.
Yeah,
I mean, they ain't pulling your scholarship because you ain't performing.
That's a
in the
fact.
NFL.
Yeah, cut
You can get. I see somebody leaves that building. At least if it's not every day, every other day, somebody leaving that building. So you never know when it's coming.
Wow.
They got a guy called a Reaper. They got a guy who come and get the guy who's like, hey, coach, want to come talk to you. Anytime you see him coming, everybody like, ooh. Everybody like, okay. I'm like, don't come say nothing to me over here. But
real.
I'm telling you, if it's not every day, it's every other day. Somebody leaving, like somebody in and out. You know what I mean? So it's hectic. You know what I mean? But it's the more you invest into it, the more you get out of it for sure.
So it's a lot of young people. I mean, it might be some adults that don't know the difference between like a practice squad player and a guy that's on the 53. Like, what's the difference to the people that don't know?
And so if you're on practice squad, you really like so they don't have the 53 roster is what they carry to game day. Like those guys are going. It's only 46 too. So only 46 people actually dress out for a game. And so if you're not on that 46 or that 53, they probably have 16 practice squad players. You're basically the look team. You basically the
scout team,
straight scout team. Like you're in special teams. If they want to get a look, like you one of them guys that's gonna give a look. If you on like say the guys that's on practice squad for like if you're a practice squad corner, you're going against the one offense all day, but you're really giving them a look. So say Arizona's playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, you mimicking whoever that Jacksonville corner is. So that's really all you're doing throughout the day. Like
and they don't travel.
Don't travel. Like you ain't going nowhere. Like as soon as they leave on, depending if they leave Friday or Saturday, you out of there. Like your day done until they get back on Monday. Really. So
What about if you make the playoffs? Do you get a shot to go? Like
So once you make the playoffs, it all changed. Like you get everything that from like a check standpoint, you get everything they get is just split in half. But you get to travel, you get to do everything the same with them, so you get all the same stuff. So
practice, you like, man, we gotta get to the first round, second round.
Oh yeah, what? Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's weird because it's like you on a team and you in the NFL, like your paycheck may not be what it is, but you necessarily ain't dependent. They ain't dependent on you to perform. They depend on you until they need you because. That's what they tell you. They gonna need every practice squad player gonna get pulled up at some point. Like if you don't practice squad, at some So they like we don't need you right now, but we want you in this building when that time comes. So that's really what a practice squad player is.
Okay. So you've been in the league 6 years. This is 7.
Yep.
Give us. I know you can name a lot. Just give us 5.
5.
Of your toughest man. You gave us one in high school. Gave us some in college. Give us 5.
And you can't say Sterling Shep and the
Sterling.
top line.
Okay. I was about to say. Okay, I'll take them off the list right quick.
Just give us 5.
I would say number 1, I'll get that out the way real quick, was my first year at Arizona. We was playing the Falcons. And we had Julio. Biggest, fastest, most athletic dude. I mean, you know how I was saying, like little short dudes that got that?
Yeah.
He, whatever, how 6'4", whatever, 6'3", whatever, 2, whatever, can move just like that. I mean, hands strong, body strong. If he want to block you, he'll put you in the. If he wanted to put you in the dirt every play, it's gonna happen. No matter who you are. Crazy. You can go up and get the ball. Like he got like. Everybody know his name for a reason. I'll say that. I'll say that. And then I'll say who's some guys after that? I mean, it's a bunch you could say. I'm trying to think. DK Metcalf was a good one. Okay. He's big, nice, big body. Debo Samuel was one, nice too. Okay, yeah, I mean, he got paid. He got his name. But I will also say going against him every day, DeAndre Hopkins in practice like that too. I mean, his hands is double my size, but people don't know how sticky he get when he get that ball in his hand too. Like his yards after, it's tough to tackle that dude. So D-Hop up there too. Let me take Debo off the list. After I said them cats. Another guy who's like a sleeper that I know people don't talk about is Robert Woods. He was for the Rams. Okay. He with the Titans now. He's a dog who he's probably one of the best receivers like all around. Like kind of like how I feel about Sterling Shepard when I was playing him. Robert Woods is a guy like that too. So I put him up there, but I know I'm missing some guys. I haven't gone against boy from Minnesota.
Jefferson.
Jefferson, I haven't gone against Jefferson. I haven't gone against any of those guys like that. I know there's a bunch of Cooper Kupp too. Cooper Kupp. I was there when he was so when I was with the Rams, I've seen all his progression. Cooper Kupp definitely up there. Cooper Kupp definitely one of them
about him the other day.
Yeah. Oh, y'all was what y'all was saying.
Because dude was like 2-3 years ago, he was still top 10 receiver in the league. I'm like, bro, he wasn't top 10 in the league 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
He really everybody just now becoming a fan of him.
Yeah, for everything that he doing.
Now.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he gonna say, I was watching him at Eastern Washington. Nobody watching Eastern Washington.
I was about to say, what colors are they? What color? What's their colors?
I said, what color was they turn?
for sure.
You did stop lying.
I know that.
Yeah, so Coop, nice.
Yeah, he nice just because he knows so much, and he got in the league. There's a lot of option routes, and it seemed like you could tell he always open because it seemed like he always know what the DB doing. Like he understand the defense great. So I'm mad I ain't named him up there with Julio and them because he definitely got, and he a bigger dude than you would think too.
Oh, for real?
He a bigger dude too. Like if you seen him in there working out, you be like, oh, this cat low key like a little bodybuilder, but and he got that dog in him too. He like I ain't scared of that. Like I'm gonna go in there and you gonna get my best effort too. Like it ain't no moments ever too big. Like he just all right, what's next? All right, what's next? All right, what's next? So Cooper Kupp like that.
Is there anybody else like you played against or played with, should I say, in the NFL that you be like, damn, this dude don't get tired?
Don't get tired. I would say Pat P. Playing with Pat P in Arizona. He I was kind of on the latter part of seeing like I know he was Hall of Fame or whatever, like everything that he got, but just seeing him how he bring himself to every game, every day, every practice, like everybody know who he is, you know what I mean? Everybody expect him to be, you can't catch a ball on him, you know what I mean? And so for him to come into every day coming in knowing I'm guarding the best dude, you get my best effort, but I'm also gonna have an upbeat attitude, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be there for the young guys. I'm gonna teach you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach you tricks and trades, but also having like I'm a regular dude too at the same time. Like he don't ever act like, oh yeah, I'm Pat P at the end of the day. Like
so he taught you a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. He really just taught, and really he's not so much of a talker. Do this, do that, do that. He's I'm gonna show you by example. You know what I mean? Like even if he didn't have a good game or something like that, he could have had the best game in the world because it ain't messing his attitude up at all. You know what I mean? So it's really just that even kill attitude that he bring in, like bringing like, oh yeah, I'm that dude. But
did you play with Jalen Ramsey with the?
I wasn't. He was there after I left too. But I was there with Marcus Peters though in the Keep to Lead. Those are the dudes when I was there. Those cats same way. Them
Marcus
cats
is a good dude.
Oh yeah, great dude. I mean, he's somebody you want on your team. Like you can see like the trash talking, like he trash talking. I guess more than any other people that you see on the team, but he don't ever take that into the locker room. He'll never take that like onto the sideline. Like if there's ever a coaches dispute, coaches over there having arguments, he'll be like, hey y'all, come on now, we got to focus on the game. You know what I mean? Like we trying to get this win. You know what I mean? Like I got you. He a real dude. He one of the real dudes I've been around.
That's good.
So we all kind of have like mentors and people we look up to. Who are a couple of the people like that mentored you or you kind of looked up to? Like maybe while you was younger, middle school, high school, college, whatever. Like who's a couple of your mentors that meant a lot to you?
I would say my first mentor ever was my corners coach in high school. He was a guy his name is Nick Humphreys. I was still talking. I was with him yesterday Friday at the game. Okay. He's a guy that he probably seen it in me before I seen it in myself. Yeah, for sure. He loved sports, loved everything about it. Like I said, he was my coach, but he was a guy who really took the time to be like, all right, you're gonna work on your craft outside of this game. Like you gotta take it, you gotta work, you're already fast, but you gotta work to be the fastest. Like you gotta work to get your body bigger. You gotta put stuff on tape. He took me to a few camps when I was growing up, like going into like my senior year. We went to TCU camp on a Friday, then backdoor that next Saturday morning went to Arkansas camp. Like he took and that Kerwin Thomas kid that I was talking about with TU took us to camp. He really a guy that was like, which is always there, you know what I mean? He was a coach that like invested in me. Like he had kids his own self, but he was doing stuff for us and really showing us the way to be everything. So I would say Nick Humphreys is definitely a guy that was invaluable to me. And another guy was my corners coach at Oklahoma State my sophomore and junior year, Van Malone. Okay. He was the guy.
K-State now.
Yeah, K-State. Okay. Yeah. He was the guy that, kind of the same thing. He's like, the biggest thing he ever told me was to be my biggest critic. He was like, we was sitting in the locker room, we was sitting and watching a practice, and he was like, you got to be your biggest critic because I think something of you. Your friends that sit next to you, they think something of you. Like everybody got their own opinion of you, and so you got to look at yourself how everybody else seeing you. Like you can't just go in there thinking, oh, you this, you that, you this, and then you always making these plays and. Like the world can't crumble in front of you. Like you got to really see what you're doing and work on your craft from a different kind of way. So, and he always kept it real with me too. Like even running my 40, he was like, Kevin Peterson shouldn't have run his 40. I hadn't talked to him in like a year at that point. He was like, Kevin Peterson shouldn't have ran that damn 40. He was like, you should have did this. You shouldn't have did that. And that was our first conversation. And from when he had left to me going through this whole process, you know what I mean? Something he better, hey, what KP had to? He was grilled me. I'm talking about from the first time we hopped on the phone. So I was like, dang.
Needed that.
Missed this dude. Missed this dude.
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But before we get out of here, And we appreciate you stopping by.
I
and
appreciate
also,
y'all
shout
having
out
me.
Dwight Dobbins. He's going to be mad if we don't shout him out.
Oh yeah, Dwight.
Appreciate you, bro.
I took an official visit to TU. He was my host. He showed me everything. Hey, I almost went, but I was like, man, he showed me a good time. I can't commit because the dude showed me a good time. Like, nah, it can't be like this every day.
For sure. Shout out my boy Dwight.
Yeah, shout out my dog Dwight.
Give a message to the youth. You went to Wagner, went to OSU. Special your junior year. Should have came out, you say. Your senior year, you had some nagging injuries. Undrafted. Chicago Bears, one of the first cuts. Work at Planet Fitness during the football season.
Yeah.
And been in the league for 6 years, going on 7 now. Get a young kid some motivation about, they're going to face some hard times in adversity or whatever it is. Maybe they freshman year, sophomore year, whatever it is. About sticking to the plan and believing in themselves. Just give them some word of wisdom.
Yeah, for sure, man. If I had anything to tell y'all, I would definitely say believe in yourself. Because it's, like I said, like my coach, Coach Van Malone told me, be your own biggest critic. Because everybody got an opinion of you. Everybody gonna say, not everybody, but somebody gonna be saying things behind your back. And it's a big politic game because there might be 100 other kids, and there might be 100 other kids just like you doing the same thing, but because they go to a bigger school or they had hype around them, they might get more chances than you. So I always say put your best foot forward, man, and never feel failure. Always attack success. Because the more you worried about the wrong things, the more you worried about what could go wrong, what could do this, it's going to eat you up. Really just attack success the best you can. Everything going to fall for you, man. God got a plan for everybody, and just always focus on the positives you can do because you can only control so much. So don't worry about the things that you can't control. Focus on your strengths, understand your weaknesses, and just put your best effort in everything that you do.
Man, that's powerful. Yeah, that's powerful. And we appreciate that. Really do, Kevin.
I appreciate
you coming by, too.
I appreciate y'all for sure. Thank you.
Still, we always at the McLean Barbershop, except for one episode. We kind of got flack for that, too. I apologize, CJ. But we back at the McLean Barbershop, talk of the town, 918. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We got some more guests coming. Shout out to my guy, Kevin Peterson.